the next, please. The queue shuffles up one. It is Blackburn's turn to try and lay a finger on the Arsenal untouchables. Form and fitness are against them. For them, from the start today, for the first time in nearly 4 months, Matt Jansen, and returning to the back four, Andy Todd. 8 wins on the spin. Arsenal are without one of their joint Barclaycard Premiership Players of the Month. Dennis Bergkamp got studs in the chest midweek and gives way to Jose Reyes. But despite having become a dad for the first time on Thursday, the other, Edu, plays. Gilberto for the injured Ljungberg is a change from midweek.
At 8, 2 guy. At 9.
No chance, Rovers. Except, where did Arsenal last lose an away league game? A year ago this very weekend. Who indeed did the double over Arsenal last season? Answer to both questions, Blackburn. Funny things happen here. Funny things happen to Arsenal here. But it would be strange if they slipped up on a ground where Blackburn's record this season is quite dreadful. The worst home record in the Premiership. Toure away for Arsenal. Here is Short. Michael Gray. Against Arsenal on the last day of last season for Sunderland and got beaten 4-0 at home. Lauren. Vieira twisting. Throw. Wenger began his Arsenal managerial career on this ground in October of 1996. Anderson. Running into Gilberto and Vieira, you don't want to be doing that. Gilberto, though, is penalised. A clean sheet in the European week for Jens Lehmann. Andy Todd is forward potentially to threaten him. Two Guy is over the set piece. Short was closest to it from the Blackburn point of view. This, though, was not the touch. Campbell's was, and Rovers have a corner. Short has stayed forward. Emerton has delivered. It's off the line by Ashley Cole. Back in again by Emerton. And a hit from Anderson a long way over. It's the best part of 4 years since Martin Anderson scored his one and only goal in English football for Wimbledon against Liverpool during a short spell at Selhurst Park under Egil Olsen. Ashley Cole, though, was the key figure for Arsenal here as Craig Short rose, levering the header away. It's Vieira. And away from Douglas, and away from Short. Patrick Vieira for Arsenal. Robert Pires for Arsenal. Oh, what a fine intervention by Todd, as Pires tried to work the perfect goal for Jose Reyes, but it's been given back to Henry. Pires. Edu. Broken up by Two Guy, hit long for Cole. Lehmann calm enough to wait for it. Exhilarating burst from Patrick Vieira. Pires spotted Henry. Henry twisted away from Neil and played in Cole. And Todd came across to meet Cole and did meet Cole pretty forcibly. And dispatched the ball by the time the centre-half arrived. Henry plays it in. Vieira wins the header. Pires ever available to him. And Reyes. Squeezed it on for Gilberto, touched it in for Henry! And parried out by Brad Friedel. One of those Arsenal moments that passes in the blinking of an eye and requires absolute awareness from a goalkeeper. Henry on the twist. Cole. Henry. Reyes. Stopped in his tracks by the challenge of Anderson, and Alan Wiley decided that that was a challenge worthy of a free kick. Henry did take a quick one. It wasn't very far away. He is full of smart ideas. And the simple thing is the best. He didn't wait to calculate anything fancy. It's worked for him before this season against Aston Villa, of course. Controversially, but brightly. He clearly got the nod from Alan Wiley. Well, he didn't last long in the posh seats, Graham Souness. Reyes. Badly dealt with by Lucas Neal. Turned 26 on Tuesday. Oh, and Friedel's got himself in trouble, and Henry has scored. Except that the ball was clearly deemed to be in Friedel's control, and the goal has not been given. Well, here's one to have a chat about in the pub tonight. What was wrong with that, ref? Let's see what was wrong. Friedel had released it. I'm not sure there's anything wrong with that. What has Thierry Henry done in breach of rules and regulations here? The ball is in play there, surely. That ought to be an Arsenal goal, unless you know different. Them to have a chat about, Arsene Wenger and Pat Rice. Something for him to get worked up about. Don't drop off. Pires. Call for Pires again. It's opened up for Robert Pires, who rippled the top of the net from the wrong side. 2 or 3 yards out of which to shape his shot. Well, here is Friedel's release, and the ball was mid-air when Henry stole it from the very boot of Brad Friedel. The rest was straightforward. The argument is anything but. There may be issues of gentlemanliness, of dangerous play, anything like that, but Henry may well consider himself well within his rights to say he took that ball cleanly and the goal should have stood. Pires. Reyes. Attacking top. Jose Reyes! Just another new Arsenal face who doesn't do things the ordinary way. Something special, something different, something zestful in his locker. 30-yard sprint, and a shot dispatched at pace. Will forward for Cole. Away from Toure. Andy Cole! Well gathered in by Lehmann. Sharp turn from Cole. Reyes. Free kick Arsenal. What an adept take this was from Andy Cole, and how cleverly he got away from Toure. Henry. Half of no goals, but of one major point for debate. At what point does it become acceptable for a striker to play a goalkeeper's clearance? Friedel cleared, Henry intercepted, goal not given. Blackburn 0, Arsenal 0 at the break. Word from Alan Wiley's room at half-time. He disallowed Henry's effort at goal for taking the ball from the goalkeeper's hands. Foul play. The ball, through my eyes, was in mid-air. Here is Reyes. Tackle is that of Lucas Neal, who comes away from Edu. Plays it up for Janssen. And wide for Gray, with Anderson through the middle and Cole through the middle. Vieira tackling back. Lauren. Vieira. Douglas. Over the top for Cole. He's by Toure. Andy Cole's got away from his man, and he's won Blackburn the first quarter of the second half. This a foot from Rovers number 9, but Torre stuck to his task well. Everton's corner. Torres clearing header, back in by Tuga. Anderson couldn't react. Since Tuga scored a goal, even longer since he scored a goal here at Ewood Park. Last time was against Arsenal a year ago this weekend, when Arsenal last suffered defeat on their Premiership travels. It's the man who plotted Arsenal's downfall twice over the course of last season. Very few others managed to beat him once. Cole, what a lovely take. Henry's got over. Free kick Arsenal. Craig Short was muscular. Henry wasn't going to get anywhere. That means all foul required. Blackburn was stretched. And Arsenal now can dip into their album of set-piece possibilities. And worry Brad Friedel again. You know who? It's brilliant! Once more, Thierry Henry reaches out for perfection. Those fans have become intoxicated by him. Thierry Henry to within a foot of the post. His 30th goal of another breathtaking season. He does very, very little wrong. Craig Short had stopped him in his tracks on the way there to start with, but no one could do anything about the free kick once taken. Vieira trunching his way through midfield and feeding Henry, against whom the flag is raised. Vieira taking charge of the centre circle. And I'll tell you what, Henry's onside there. Having fallen behind under controversial circumstances. Short's momentum carried him into Henry. Henry got given the free kick. And with the free kick, he did what he tends to do. And Short feels sore about it. Neil. Nice from York. Nice from Cole. Strong from Neil. Tuga. York. Tuga. York. And Tuga once more. And Dwight York. And Andy Cole. Cole for Rovers. Oh! The merest touch. The merest touch for 1-1. But Jonathan Douglas couldn't apply that touch. York and Cole combining as of old, and Cole inviting Douglas to plunder the equaliser. It is a head-in-hands moment, as so many moments have been for Graham Souness at Ewood this season, where they just don't seem to get the breaks. Out by Clichy. Pires. Vieira. Arsenal have got men over here. Patrick Vieira. And Gilberto. And out for Pires. 2-0 Arsenal. Job done. The simplest task of the afternoon falls to Robert Pires. A task as potentially significant as it was simple. Making almost certain now the fact that Arsenal will extend their unbeaten Premiership run to 30 games. Friedel did as much as he could, but via his palm and the bottom of the post, it came out to Pires, and Arsenal are over the Lancashire hills and far away. There is indeed only one Arsene Wenger. It has not been a great year to own an Ewood Park season ticket. Won 3, drawn 3, and now lost 8 at home, Blackburn Rovers. That is the part of their record which is causing them so much worry now. The untouchables remain out of reach. There were twitchy moments today, there were moments worthy of debate, but in the end, Arsenal won fairly comfortably, easing up again, Henry again, Pires again, 30 games unbeaten now in the Premiership, and if they avoid defeat by Bolton next week, they will pass their own record for the longest such run of the Premiership era. Arsenal, again, splendid. 2-0 winners at Ewood Park. Friedel's got himself in trouble, and Henry has scored. What was wrong with that, ref? It's brilliant! Once more, Thierry Henry reaches out for perfection. Patrick Vieira and Gilberto, and out for Pires. 2-0 Arsenal. Job done.
We were doing very well today up until a free kick was given against us on the edge of the box. And from that, Thierry Henry slotted it. Not the greatest of goals he's ever scored, but it shouldn't have been a free kick, in my opinion.
Was it a foul or wasn't it?
Well, I've been talking to the press earlier and saying I might be eating humble pie until I've seen it, because I didn't think it was at the time, but now I've seen it, I'm adamant it wasn't a foul. So it was just disappointing. We had a game plan, we defended really well, and a decision like that changed the game for us. So disappointing, but seeing it there, didn't think it was a foul. There was a coming together of us. You know, we did collide, and you know, Thierry said he felt me collide with him, but the ref said to me I pushed him. It was a blatant push, but I didn't have my hands up. My hands were down by my side, so you know, it's a physical game. Well, it used to be. It's not anymore.
We know what's ahead of us now, and there's some massive games coming up. So you know, it's exciting times for the club, and the players are up for it. So at least we're playing, you know, teams who are in the same position as us. You know, Chelsea as well. So it's good.
Thierry Henry's disallowed goal. You've had a look at it. Why would that be disallowed?
I don't know. The referee can give the answer. It looked to me like he did nothing wrong, but the referee decided that it was a free kick. Having seen it again on the replay, it looked like it was a clear goal. When he touched the ball, Thierry, the ball was quite in the air. And if you imagine that the referee, if he throws the ball 2 more yards away and takes it, nobody can say a word about it. So it didn't look that it did something wrong in there.
Well, Peter Drury thought strongly that goal should have been allowed. So did Arsene Wenger. You've had your head in the rule book for hours.
Hours. I mean,
hours. So
it's common knowledge. I'm a student of the game.
You're almost getting a little boring about it, actually. But what did you think?
I wouldn't have given the goal. I really wouldn't have given the goal. I think it's, you know, the law obviously states, it's a little bit, in my opinion, ungentlemanly conduct. It's law 12, and it says an indirect free kick is awarded to the opposing team if a player, in the opinion of the referee, prevents the goalkeeper from releasing the ball from his hands or plays in a dangerous manner. Now, I don't think it's particularly dangerous, it has to be said, but I still think it really is.
The argument was the ball was out of his hands.
Yeah, but I would argue that really it should still be in the goalkeeper's possession. It probably is ungentlemanly conduct. Don't get me wrong, Henry, brilliant, razor sharp, fantastic. But at the same time, I think the ball should only be in play when it's out the goalkeeper's hands in respect, whether he kicks it up the park or puts it in the ground. Mind you, he's in good company. Yeah, he's in great company. George Best here for Northern Ireland, 1971, against Gordon Banks. Very, very similar situation. That one probably should have counted due to the fact it was against England, Des.
That wasn't allowed either.
No, and rightly so. Don't get me wrong, that shouldn't have counted either. I think this one did count. This was incredible. This was Andy Dibble for Manchester City. Gary Crosby. Now, if that's not gentlemanly conduct, I don't know what is.
He was sitting in the stand.
And the best of it is that one was actually given. But I'm of the opinion that none of them should be given. And in fact, you know, the ball should be in play after it leaves the goalkeeper's boot, or he puts it on the ground, or he throws it out.
Now, what about the Henry free kick, right or wrong?
Yeah, I thought it was a free kick. I agree with Craig Short. I think the game's not as physical as it should be or could be, but I do think it was a free kick. His left forearm here comes across to Henry there, and I just think he barges him off the ball.
He said he kept his hands by his side. He didn't quite, did he?
But I think looking at it again, I'll have to agree that I thought the challenge was clumsy if anything else. He comes across, pushes Henry to the ground. He could have made a better attack. I don't think, honestly, there's a lot of complaints here about the free kick. Obviously, at the time, when tensions are running high and feelings are high, and obviously Graham Souness said it's not a foul. But I think with hindsight, looking at it, I would certainly agree it was a foul. The free kick itself was absolutely top class. Look at this from the angle, curling away from the goalkeeper. Absolutely top class, Henry.
Now I'm going to bring Ron in here, because Ron, you like the idea of having a man on the line there to guard that near post, don't you? And
that happens too many times, Des. There's too many goals scored like that, and you've got to prevent it. Now, the first thing I would always have somebody on the goal post. That makes the keeper's mind up easier, and B, I think the goalies will moan, they can all encroach, come on top of you and people like that. Well, you've got to deal with the second problem. The first problem is the direct shot at goal, and we see too many goals scored from that. Yeah. You've got to stop that. I did it for the last 10 years of my management career, never conceded one goal with somebody on the line.
Oh, that's a very good point. Now, who was the star man? It was Henry, was it? Or?
No, he was different class, took the goal well, but Vieira was absolutely immense today, in my opinion. He was a colossus in midfield, he really is. He's having a fantastic season. Henry rightly gets a lot of the plaudits going in that Arsenal side, but Vieira was superb today. Great skill in midfield. Look at this, initially, just inside his own half, wonderful piece of talent. But look, the main issue here is the way he drives at the opposing defence, causes Craig Short to come out. Now look at the weight and timing of that pass. I think Perez should have done better here. But I just think Vieira is so important. Again, actually makes a mistake there, but look at the desire, the hunger, and the attitude to go and win that ball back. Not only does he chase one man, he carries on and gets Janssen, and eventually wins the ball back for Arsenal. Breaks up play, and fantastic, starts another move. Ball, dangerous ball in the free kick. You're looking for your centre-backs. No, there's Vieira again, heading clear. And we see him do that a lot, you know. Wins a ball in midfield and releases Henry with a perfectly timed pass. Have to tell you, he's a good yard onside, but that's what he's brilliant at. Breaking things up, immense contribution to the second goal. We're going to trail him here. Picks the ball up 2 yards outside his own box. Lovely ball to Clichy. This is what Arsenal are great at, hitting you on the break. Some good football down the left-hand side. Perez continues the run, receives the ball from Clichy, who makes himself available. Now looking on the left-hand side, a wonderful run from Edu. Wonderful run. Releases the ball to Gilberto, comes across, and Perez is on hand to knock the rebound off the post. I just thought overall...
Great performance, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought the first goal was very important, but it was a wonderful performance from Vieira. Okay. Top class.
Arsenal unstoppable at the moment. Blackburn need to win a few.
Arsenal's David Bentley was giving his support to a leukemia charity in West London as he hinted that within the Gunners' camp there is a belief they can go the season unbeaten.
The trickiest fixtures are probably the cup games, but I think the league games, if we concentrate, I don't see any team beating us really, but we just got to concentrate and do our jobs.
So is that a warning to the rest of the Premiership that Arsenal will go the season unbeaten?
I'm not saying that, but if we keep playing, we'll hopefully win every game.
As yet, talk of a treble is not rife within the Arsenal squad, but Bentley does believe his colleagues have learned from last season when they surrendered a similar Premiership advantage.
There's more focus in it, and they know what they have to do. Like last year was very much learning, but this year we know exactly what to do, and it's looking good at the moment.
The England under-21 star says playing with the likes of Henry and Vieira has inspired him, and earlier this season he fulfilled a personal ambition, scoring for the Gunners.
It's what I dreamt of, and it actually come true, so it was an unbelievable feeling to score. Actually playing is a good feeling, but to score, it's all what it's all about.
If Bentley and his teammates complete a treble, then many more youngsters will be looking for the midfielder's signature. Paul McGowan, Sky Sports.
Some Dutch imports aren't renowned for their longevity. The Premiership has seen many stars from the Netherlands come and go, but not Dennis Bergkamp. In his 9 years at Highbury, he's notched up 254 league appearances for the Gunners, the most by any overseas player for a Premiership club.
I think it shows that from both sides, Arsenal and my side, that we're happy together and that it's been a good relationship. I think I felt happy here. I've done well for the club, I felt, and the club has done well for me. So it shows that once you're happy in a country and you're doing well, you can break those records.
Realistically speaking, how long does Dennis Bergkamp see his future in Premiership football?
Well, it's difficult to look further than 1 year, of course. I would like to carry on for another year, and it would have been 10 years at Arsenal then, so I can't look any further than that.
Yeah, are you disappointed perhaps that Arsenal have only been willing to give one-year contracts at a time in the last year or two?
No, it's understandable. I think when you come to a certain age, it's understandable that they won't give you the long contracts anymore.
If they avoid defeat at home to Bolton today, Arsenal will equal the record of the longest unbeaten start to a league season, totalling 29 games.
So far, it's been a good season for us. We're doing well. We managed to get points out of bad games as well, and yeah, we got a lot of wins. So it's not really a surprise that we break all those records, I think.
Arsenal are finally getting their act together in Europe. What was your reaction when you saw Arsenal and Chelsea paired together?
You hope for a good draw, and when you look at the 7 teams you can meet, there's not really a good draw because they're all good teams and all difficult teams. But yeah, Chelsea, we know that's where we're doing the positive thing. We've got some good results against them, so we have the confidence. But it's a little bit strange to play an English team in a European competition, but we'll take it, and hopefully it works out well for us.
But sandwiched in between the Champions League ties with Chelsea are League and FA Cup games against the troubled champions.
I think the club is too big to worry about those moments. You always find that you got a difficult period in a year or in 4 or 5 years, but they will always bounce back and probably stronger than before.
I suppose Arsenal have a score to settle with United in the semi-final of the FA Cup. You just have to look back at 1999.
That has been some time ago, of course. Since then, we played the last 3 years. We played 3 finals, and yeah, we haven't looked back to that game anymore. I think we proved the point in the FA Cup.
With the treble in their sights, Arsenal approached the run-in mindful of last season when they were pipped to the Premiership post.
Can you remember how painful it was to let those 11 points slip by, and does that motivate you now this season?
Well, you do learn a lesson from it, of course. You do learn that, yeah, even if you lose some points, you're still some points ahead, and you have to focus on that. And as I said, last season that didn't work out. We lost it a little bit. We were unlucky with injuries and suspensions, but I feel that it's totally different now.
And Gavin, do you think Dennis Bergkamp's capable of playing another season in the top flight? Should he get that extra contract?
Yeah, I think he is. I mean, the first thing I would look at the player over 30 is how their flexibility and their speed and strength is. And I think I watched him the other week and he was looking as good as ever. He's got the yard and he's flexible as well. You look at Zola last year, he went through a regime of training to keep that flexibility, which was key. So he didn't get too many injuries and he was still able, I mean, with his vision as well. And in that team, let's remember, in that team, with those players around him, I think he'll be creating more than he scores, but he can still play a major part.
He's fantastic to watch, and Arsenal are fantastic to watch at the moment. Do you think they'll get that record? Do you think they'll go on, and how long will they go?
I think they will. Well, how long will they go? I don't know. It depends. They might have won the league by Easter anyway. So, you know, and then if the progression in the Champions League as well, he might decide, Arsene Wenger, to rest some players.
No, they'll get fired up, won't they, to try and go the whole season?
Well, it's difficult to know, Ray, because, you know, don't forget from August they've just been thinking about winning the league, and once you actually win it and you say you've got 3 or 4 games left, I think it's always difficult, and for once can speak from experience, that you just sort of switch off a little bit.
I noticed Tottenham away there if they're still unbeaten at that stage. And how many points do you think they'll drop, Gavin?
Tell you what, I can't see them dropping too many. I mean, the problem comes with the congestion of fixtures around the Champions League games and the Manchester United games. And if they come through that, I can see them going all the way. Because the thing is, as well, they've got squad players now that have come through this year as well. Players like Clichy, players like Touré has excelled this year, Edu when he's come in. So really, I don't see many weaknesses, even if they start to change players around.
We'll see. The record that Arsenal are gunning for is going unbeaten from the start of the season. Thanks for all the emails, texts and letters reminding us that Nottingham Forest went 42 unbeaten between November 77 and December 78. 21 wins, 21 draws. A report on the current Forest side coming up a little bit later. Do you know what the record is in Europe for going unbeaten? Steaua Bucharest, 104 games between 86 and 89.
I'm going to say no to that answer.
And so to the top half of the Premiership table. It's Premiership leaders Arsenal against Bolton, second place Chelsea at home to Fulham, Manchester United at home to Spurs today. They trail Arsenal by 12 points.
OK, repeat after me. Chelsea have not beaten Arsenal since 1998.
Chelsea have not beaten Arsenal since 1998.
Cole, louder next time, please. Right. And Smith, take your chewing gum out.
Let's start it like this.
Chelsea will play against Arsenal.
We knew we was going to get Chelsea, to be honest. It was just like one of them things again. But it's, of course, every game you would have got there was going to be tough. If you had AC Milan, Real Madrid, Lyon, all tough games. So we just know we're going into this game looking at trying to get through.
Your goal, undoubtedly, the most important goal probably for years for Arsenal in terms of how you progress as a team against Dinamo Kiev. What did that feel like?
We've not played too bad in Champions League this season, and we didn't get the results that we needed, and it was a big game for us, and of course I was lucky to be there and to get the goal, but for me it was just a great night.
You are marvellous to watch at the moment, aren't you? You are spectacular. I think you are fantastic to watch. The team, really entertaining to watch. It's beautiful. You must have been told that by many people.
Yeah, I think even last season we played really good football and we didn't get nothing out of it. So this season we've carried that on and we are playing more as a team. We're all defending well and we're definitely keeping the ball longer and everyone's upbeat and not getting too carried away, which I think last season we did. But we're just enjoying it, I think.
OK, ready? Repeat after me, class. Class, concentration, please, Cole. Arsenal have gone 30 games unbeaten in the league.
Arsenal have gone 30 games unbeaten in the league.
That's much better. You're all acting as a team there.
Of course, we'd love to break more records as we go along, but we'll take the championship before our records, to be honest. We were so close last season and we got it taken it from us. So
what was it like that day against Leeds? How did it feel?
Just gutting, really, to know we played so well up to then and really we just threw it away. And of course now we've got the point lead, so hopefully we can just keep kind of concentrate and not get too carried away.
Who's the most skillfulest player in the Arsenal squad?
Apart from me.
What's the difference then between England and Arsenal for you at the moment? Because you don't feel as though you've played as well.
It's just been hard for me to play, and I've not played as well as I can. And of course, when I'm with Arsenal, I always seem to find someone like Robert or Thierry. It seems easier to give someone the ball. I think with England, yeah, I'm always going to be nervous until I start playing as well as I know I can.
Are you Arsenal? Oh yeah, I'm not. Do you want to switch around? Yeah, come on.
Computer games now. Obviously, you're very much involved in this new game. How important are they in the rest of your life?
I live on it, to be fair. That's all I do is play computer. So hopefully this game can keep me more in my bed, to be honest. Just stay indoors and play.
But you just in the evenings, that's what keeps you
occupied?
Yeah,
I'm kind of sad, really.
Year 11's no goalkeeper, 3 touch only.
What's it like coming back to school? Do you feel like you've missed those days? Or,
yeah, it's good. I used to park in the car park here. I don't know if you're allowed, but when I used to go to watch the games, I used to park here and walk down to the ground, so...
So you've used the facilities here?
Yeah, yeah. I don't think I could get inside.
When do you ever have time to stop and think, oh God, I can't believe what I've done with my life, I can't believe what's going on here?
You can't really. When I won the championship a couple of seasons ago, and I think we had to go to the World Cup, couldn't really celebrate too much and enjoy it because you had to go to a big tournament, but hopefully this year we can win something and I can go to the championship and hopefully win something with England as well.
Pick that litter up, Smith, and you should be in French at 2 o'clock. Cole, stop kicking that ball against the wall. I've told you that football like will get you nowhere.
You scary enough with those glasses or what?
I quite enjoyed being a teacher, actually. You might not see me next week. This incredible unbeaten run, Jim, that Arsenal are going to equal today if they don't get beaten by Bolton, Leeds and Liverpool's record. It really is worth mentioning because they have actually gone over the 29 games over the 2 seasons, but today would be within the season and really up there with the greats, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. It's phenomenal. I mean, comparisons are being made with that Leeds side and, of course, the Liverpool side that did similarly. But I think you can only be as good as your era, and Arsenal are certainly the best this season. Absolutely phenomenal. And I think they're driven on by what happened last season. I mean, it was like that in the Liverpool days of old. They had the wherewithal to win the league every year if they really put their minds to it. And Arsenal are similarly talented. And because they slipped up last season, there's a real determination not to let it happen again.
And on 70 points already, the record for the Premiership is 91, which is held by Manchester United. So they're only going to get 7 wins out of the next 10 games. And
I tell you, and the next sort of batch of games that they've got, Gabby, are so difficult. I mean, you know, to come this far, they've done incredibly well. It really is a phenomenal achievement. But with the European Cup, with Man United in the FA Cup as well as Man United in the league, I think, you know, they've got this, Liverpool, Newcastle, everybody coming. It is so difficult, and it will be incredible if they manage to go the whole distance, not getting under.
Interesting what Ashley Cole said there about playing for England, and he talked about it in the papers last weekend, and he's obviously a little bit frustrated about that, as have many people been about England on that left side for years. But it's interesting that he can't take his form from Arsenal.
Yeah, well, I mean, I had it similarly in the same position, but when I went from a cracking Liverpool side and everybody knew each other inside out, and then you go to Republic of Ireland, only getting together now and again. It's a bit cliche to say it, but it's true. I mean, you just don't develop the same understanding and you can't quite create the same style of football.
Chelsea, of course, a massive test for them this week in the Champions League away. How do you think both teams will kind of gear up for this one? Because it's not a Premiership game. It's got an added importance to it, hasn't it? And it just...
It's difficult. I mean, certainly the advantage lies with Arsenal. I don't care what anybody says. A lot of people are saying they fancy Chelsea. I do think that the advantage is with Arsenal. I think it's a massive game for Claudio Ranieri. I think if he gets beat in this game, it's going to be very difficult, I think, for him to stay there. I can see Abramovich wanting to make change. He's got twitchy fingers to me, Mr. Abramovich. I can see him pressing the button at the end of the season if Claudio Ranieri gets beaten this Champions League time.
And just in one word, Bolton today, can you see them stopping that record?
No.